enemy, it's our tour guide. We'll swap stories, share tools, and have a laugh while we find our way back to true north. Come along. Hi, Nat. How are you?
I'm good, Sammy. How are you, beautiful?
I'm fantastic. Now, this episode is actually coming out just before Christmas. We thought we'd do a Christmas episode.
Yes.
And I often find a lot of people are really overwhelmed and anxious just before Christmas. Are you
Yeah.
noticing it in the air? I mean, we're recording this in November, Nat, but I'm already starting to
Yeah.
hear people's anxieties about all kinds of things, whether it's
Yeah.
buying presents or having to see certain family and entertain. Like there's just so many things that are happening.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
to mention in Australia, that's the end of year for the school and a lot of the
Yes.
extracurricular sports. So not only
Yep.
do you
And
have that, you've
concerts and
got
all that sort of thing.
celebrations, yeah,
Yeah.
graduations. So
Yep.
yeah, I thought we could do an episode today talking about, I'm going to say the five major holiday anxiety triggers. And we're going to give you a couple of tips on how to stay somewhat sane-ish. Is that even a word?
Yes.
Sane-ish.
Danish. Yes, it is.
In this
It,
holiday
it is
season.
now.
It is now. We've made that a word.
It
So,
is.
what was your Christmas like, sort of growing up, and even now? Like, what was there a lot of rushing, or were you kind of relaxed at Christmas time? Like, what would your Christmas or leading up to Christmas be like for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, as a child, there was a lot of angst, discord. So it was always quite stressful. I more noticed it when in my teens. Didn't notice it when I was a child. It was lovely, but then yeah, moving into adulthood, it was always really I felt overwhelmed with all of the rushing around, trying to find the perfect gifts,
Oh yeah,
um,
the
all
perfect
of the yeah, as we discussed, the extracurricular sort of things that trying to catch up with everybody and Christmas parties and a
Mm,
lot until I actually um, jumped off the merry-go-round, so
I
to
know.
speak.
Oh,
So
we get
yeah, my Christmases are very different now.
yeah. So you're a lot more calmer at Christmas.
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
really, yeah, I really am because
Mm,
I made that conscious decision to step away, especially when I was, and it really started when I had my anxiety disorder when I was in the thick of it all. And, I've always been a reader. I love reading books. I would always hide in books. And I guess
mm.
I did that even as a child. That was my coping mechanism was I would go and hide and get stuck into a book. I'd always get a book at Christmas, at least one. So I
Oh,
would just go and hide. And that followed when, especially when I became, had an anxiety disorder.
yeah.
I would just go and find somewhere out in the backyard, up in the Bagola or somewhere, and just hide with my book and get away from
Away from the
everybody.
loudness.
And I still do that now. That has become my go-to regulate my own nervous system. And just I created those boundaries.
My Christmas was a little bit different. So growing up, Christmas for me was rush, 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 rush. But we
Yeah.
always went to my grandma's, and she lived down Tweed Heads on the coast there. But the problem was, is she was making us all on her time because it was daylight savings, so we'd all have to get there an hour earlier because she
Yeah.
was running an hour earlier. Funny that. But I'd open up my presents, which was great because I remember getting presents like it was somewhat normal. But then we would have to leave everything and go
Yeah.
straight to my grandma's, and we were there for like 2 weeks, and we wouldn't come home for 2 weeks. So I remember
Yeah.
feeling anxious because my mum would go back to work and I'd be stuck down the coast at my grandma's, who wasn't a very emotionally, um, supportive person, let's just say that. And my mum
Yeah.
often said, I remember you always ringing me as a child and you'd hide around the corner on the phone and go, Mum, come and get me. Come and get me. And
Oh.
then my grandma would be like, no. Oh, it just popped up saying that it was playing music. Was that me singing? That's hilarious.
Oh.
Um, and Yeah, so but now as an adult, like having kids just changed my idea of Christmas because there was a moment where it was just kind of like, oh yeah, Christmas, whatever, buying friends gifts and the anxiety of getting the perfect gift was there. But now I
Yeah.
have kids and there's this constant like gray cloud that's constantly there seeing, oh my
Mm.
gosh, Christmas trees are going up. We have to put our Christmas tree up. Oh my gosh, people have already finished their Christmas shopping. I haven't even thought about what my kids want for Christmas. Like there were all these thoughts, and then you get all these things that come emails for this is happening at school now, and this is the breakup for this, and this is and it's my son's birthday in December as well. So we've got that as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then my hubby, because he's in construction, the construction industry shuts down for a few weeks, and so it's the making sure all the jobs are done and everything's sorted and wrapping everything up. And now with my business, it's the same thing. So I often find I don't really get to enjoy the whole Christmas thing as much as I would want to. That being said, in the last 2 years, I've put boundaries up and I've forced myself to really enjoy the festive season where I can. But my friend who's American, if she's listening to this, hi. She said that she prefers Christmas in America because they don't finish their school term until June. They have obviously the summer
yes,
break. And so
yeah,
she said that you actually get to enjoy the Christmas and New Year because nothing's end of year
yeah.
in America. You're literally just focusing in on, the whole festive
The
thing
holiday,
and
yeah.
yeah. So I've never really thought of that, but anyway, I thought we would touch on the five most common triggers around anxiety and what I'm hearing out in the public and also what I've heard in clinics. So the first one is family dynamics. I know there's a lot of people that get anxious this time of year because this is where we see family members. We maybe see them once a year, and it's at
Yeah,
Christmas time, right? And
yeah,
we get those triggers that come up, that resurface. This person may trigger you from something that's happened in your past. Maybe you've
yeah,
put boundaries up, but you can't put those boundaries up at Christmas
yeah.
because you're kind of
Well,
forced into the same room.
well, exactly. And I remember reading it years ago and then observing, and it was like, oh, it's right. They were absolutely correct. Doesn't matter what age you are, when you get back with your nuclear family or family members, everyone's tends to fall back into the roles that they
Yes.
had growing up,
Oh my
which, yeah,
gosh. True.
yes, which I found really fascinating. And it's so
Mm.
true. It doesn't matter
Who you
how much, yeah, it's an interesting dynamic.
It's funny you say that because my grandma's got dementia, which is not funny, but she
Oh,
has people like got place cards on who everyone is in the family, and people have
yeah,
changed dramatically. And I feel like that's the same on Christmas Day. You have obviously remembered people how they were back when you used to
yeah,
spend a lot of time with them. So yeah, definitely
yeah.
that's a thing. I actually was watching a reel of a psychologist, and he was saying to detach emotionally from the situation and just try and sort of move yourself to the people you're comfortable with. So whether they're cousins that you
Yes.
have a good time with, and when people come up and I find like they go and say something that triggers you, like I know
Yeah.
weight, which is the second one.
Yes.
Well, it's one of the ones I'm going to talk about, but
Yes.
oh, geez, you've put on weight. Or, oh, gee,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's always like an
Every year.
uncle but yeah, there's that one. So the first one is as family dynamics, and that can really set off your nervous system. The second one
Yeah.
around Christmas that I hear a lot of is the financial pressure. So we
That's a
blow
big
our
one.
budgets out because there's
Yeah.
this need to please people and buying them the perfect gift. And then you get that the guilt of spending too much money or the guilt of not buying. Someone might give you
Not
a gift
enough.
and you didn't spend enough
Oh,
money on them.
yes.
Or someone gives you a
Yeah.
gift and you had agreed not to buy gifts. And then there's also that comparison. I know when I was younger, my cousin always used to get upset if I got something and she didn't at Christmas time.
Yeah. Yes.
So that can be a big one, the financial pressure to live up to expectations, particularly with social media. I see some people
Yeah.
put pictures and videos up of their kids opening so many things, and
I know.
that would be hard for young kids, although they've got the social media ban coming out, but seeing other kids getting so much, You've
Yes.
really got to get your kids to really appreciate the little things as well. So,
One really good thing that my sister did with Charlie was to navigate the spending of money because yes, some kids they get like one present from Santa and then one of their classmates gets 11 billion presents from
yes.
Santa and there is that yeah, as you said, that comparison, and then the parent feels guilty. So she, to circumnavigate that, it was a tradition in their family that Santa brought one present.
Mm.
Any other presents that were given
Yeah.
were from mum and dad.
Yeah.
So that, he wasn't going to school saying, look what Santa bought me. But she also did, I mean, my sister's beautiful. Every year, in early, like late November, early December, she would sit down with Charlie and he had to give away toys
Oh, we
to
did
give it
that.
to yeah. So every year.
Yeah.
So he couldn't get new stuff unless some old stuff was
Something.
was donated,
Yeah. We
which
did
is
that.
a lovely
We've got
thing.
the
Yeah.
magical elf. His name's Max. Worst thing I ever jumped on
Oh,
and
it's not the
bought.
elf on the shelf thing, is
Oh my
it?
God, it
Oh
totally is.
my.
I tell you what, I wish I could go back in time and warn myself. But
Yeah, my sister's the same.
oh
Every
my
year she's like,
gosh.
"Oh my
But
God."
we sort of got into the tradition of he would rock up with a box under the tree and talk about
Yep.
needing, toys back up. So what is it? I was about to say the South Pole, North Pole, wherever he comes from. My kids are
Cool.
older now. My kids are that age now where like I think they're aware of things, but they still want that magic in the house. So they're asking when Max is coming, and I'm like, my hubby's looking at me going, oh. I'm like, well, still they're still excited. Let's just continue on.
I'll be still asking in their 20s.
I know,
When
right? And I'm like, I'm tired. And there's that anxiety of waking up at 2 in the morning. The freaking hell.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. I mean, I don't have kids, but watching other
It's all
parents
fun.
every year, again, coming back to social media,
Yeah.
it's become such a huge
Oh,
thing, and
some
there
of
is
the
that
extremes they
pressure
go
to not
to.
just have the yes, but to
Oh,
post it on
I
social
feel like I
media.
need to add that as an extra anxiety trigger at Christmas.
I think it
There's a
is.
sixth one there. Yeah.
It
My
really is
goodness. So
in this
yes,
day and age.
I'm diverging here. So financial pressures is a big one. So we said family
Yes, it
dynamics,
is.
financial pressure. What we were touching base on before is the third one, which is food and body pressure. There is so many festivities and there is just this anxiety of being around food all the time and
Yes.
knowing that you're about to see family and friends that you haven't seen in a while and perhaps you want to fit into a nice dress, but you're constantly around food and alcohol and you don't normally eat these kinds of things, but you are excited and maybe you've restricted yourself for so long that you're overindulging a little too much and you're
Yeah.
noticing the scales going up, maybe you're feeling sluggish and bloated and it's not even Christmas yet and you're thinking, "Holy crap, I'm going to gain so much weight." Because often I mean, I've never had that issue, but I hear it so much that women really don't like gaining weight this time of year. They just feel awful.
No.
Yeah,
No.
so there's that anxiety of not being able to, and not just that, but the judgment that we get from family members, which is what we were talking about, like
Yes.
knowing there's that uncle or that grandparent that you want to walk in, they go, "Wow, you look amazing," but they look at you and go, "Geez, what did you
You've
do?"
put on weight.
And some of
Yeah.
them get really upset. And you've got to
Yeah.
remember and people are talking about your weight, it's often a reflection of themselves because I've
Yeah.
never really looked at people or spoken. I mean, unless someone's put on like 100 kilos and you think, what,
Yeah. It's
something's not
excessive.
okay
Yes.
here. This is a health issue. Like,
Yeah.
or even
Or
lost a lot of weight.
conversely, the other way as
Yeah,
well, because sometimes with
exactly.
anxiety, you can't eat and
Yes.
you lose weight. So yeah,
Yeah.
it could be either extreme.
Exactly. And often the lead up to Christmas, we have that anxiety, and some of us do the opposite of where you can't eat, where you go to food for comfort because that
Yes.
releases that anxiety. So
And then you
yeah,
got
there
the guilt on
could be
top of
either.
that.
Exactly. I know,
Mm.
right? And
Yeah.
all the comments and just waiting for that comment to be said. And sometimes you can
Yeah.
put that out into the universe. If you're thinking someone's going
Yeah.
to say something, and then they'll say it,
And
right?
then they do. Yeah.
So that
Yes.
overwhelms there as well. So
Yeah.
that's the three. And the fourth one, so I said five. We're going to say six because of that damn elf. But the fifth one is the social obligations. If you're not a social person,
Mm,
and when maybe you are around people, you have that sensory overload. Perhaps you're a people pleaser, so you're doing extra people pleasing because you're around more people.
yes.
Maybe your family. I know people, this isn't so much me, but I know people who host family. So they get family all over that come and stay with them for a couple of weeks over Christmas in their house
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just constantly, you don't have the space to unwind.
Yeah. You don't
Your
have that break.
routine's out. Maybe they stay
Yeah.
up late and you feel obliged to stay up late and have a drink with them. Maybe you don't drink, but now you're drinking because you want to be social.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh,
A lot
that's
to navigate.
yeah, exactly. And that sort of leans into the fifth one, which is the lack of routine. You're not going
Yeah.
to the gym. Maybe your classes have finished. Maybe you're not at
Yeah.
work, so you haven't got that constant need to
That
prep
that
food.
routine.
Yeah, exactly. And
Routine goes out the window at this time of year.
yeah, and we're undernourishing ourselves because we're not making proper meals. We're just living
Yep.
off of whatever comes our way, whether it's a piece of
Yep.
ham here or maybe
Yep.
a chocolate there, piece of
Yep.
pudding.
Yep.
Pudding. I do like pudding.
Oh
Um,
yes.
and
My
then
dad makes the
yeah.
best pudding.
Yeah. Oh, my grandma makes. That's a nostalgic thing for me. Christmas pudding
Yes.
with the rum custard. You know the rum
Yes.
infused custard. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
My grandmother used to
mouth
do it as
water.
well, and we spent years perfecting, pouring the brandy over the pudding and lighting it. Um,
Yeah.
took forever to work out how to do it. Finally worked it out. And my dad, plus on other members of my family, so my auntie and my cousins, they still make the same pudding that my grandmother made. So, but
Oh,
Dad loves it. Dad's like the biggest cook in our house. He always was. So he
yeah.
loves making his Christmas pudding.
I remember my grandma would make hers because well, I shouldn't say she was, she's still around. She had celiac disease, so she always made her gluten-free pudding and she'd have it in, the cloth and then sit there and she'd make it like a month and or two in advance or whatever it was, where it had to
Yeah.
stew and all this. Oh, I love it. I feel like one year I was wanting that nostalgic feeling because she obviously doesn't make it anymore. And I went to Aldi and got their cheap pudding and it was just such a mistake. It wasn't as yum. I was very disappointed
Yes.
because everyone
Yeah.
was going on about the Aldi pudding, but it just didn't hit. So we've talked about all the reasons why we get
Um, can
anxious.
I just add
Yeah.
one in there? It just came now, and maybe it's because I am at that stage of life because obviously Sammy and I are different
Ages.
generations.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, people I mean, anyone could be experiencing this, but especially in my age bracket, another anxiety-inducing thing can be people that close loved ones that we've lost.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
that
I
can
didn't
be
even,
another really big trigger.
yeah. And you
I've
know
lost
why I
I
didn't
lost my
think of
mum
that?
last year, and it's
Mhm.
we're still my family's still trying to navigate how
Yeah.
what does Christmas look like without mum there. So that can be another anxiety-inducing
That's a big one, Nat.
situation.
I didn't
Yeah.
think of that one because, and I know
No,
this
neither did I until just
really
then.
ignorant, but I haven't.
No,
I mean, I've
no, no.
lost people in my life, but I've been very fortunate, touch wood, to have not lost anyone really, really close to me. So I
Yeah.
haven't had that feeling or sensation at Christmas time, but I can only imagine just how. I mean, I felt that with the loss of a dog. I mean, but that's just
Yes.
it hits a little different. But I could only imagine the anxiety and stress of being in that beautiful family moment with someone missing. I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought that up because there's probably people listening to that one thinking, well, this is the big one for me.
Yeah.
So we've sort of touched base on all these things that are common anxiety triggers. I'm going to say the elf one is the worst, but that's just my personal experience.
Look, I
But
would have to agree with you.
oh gosh. But how do we navigate them using our compass? So we can look at physical things, chemical things, emotional things, and spiritual things to sort of prop us up this time of year so that we're not going insane where we want to punch everyone in the face and have a mental breakdown and then tell
And
everyone
run
to
away
bugger
and
off.
hide. Yeah.
Christmas is cancelled. The friggin' elf is going in the toilet. I'm giving it to Midas. Midas is running off with the elf. Um, or maybe I should do that this year. So, from a physical perspective, we always touch on breathing, and that's something that
Yeah.
doesn't take very long. It's
No.
something that you can just leave the room or even go into the
Yeah.
toilet if you really
I was
need
just about to
to.
say that. When you go to the toilet, spend that time doing your breathing.
As long as you're not taking a
Yes.
dump. I mean, because that's not
Oh,
that's not
Sammy.
taking a big mindful
Yeah,
breath.
no.
No, but I know what you mean. So sorry, I went a bit vulgar there, didn't I? Um,
Please
sorry.
excuse Sammy.
Yeah, well, that's where my brain goes. I'm a mum of
I
boys and I'm
know.
a nutritionist, so
I
uh,
know. I was just about to say, we are nutritionists. It
yes.
is an
But
important.
maybe not in the actual toilet, but in the bathroom, have
Yes,
a
when you're washing your
mindful.
hands.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you could sort of allow that trigger of, is it an anchor where when you
Anchor.
wash
Yep.
your hands, because we're meant to wash them for like a minute, aren't we? You could sit there and
Yeah.
do a bit of mindful breathing while you're washing
Exactly.
your hands and smelling the soaps, the lovely,
Yeah. I was just about
buy
to say,
yourself a
exactly.
beautiful
Bring that
soap.
mindfulness routine into it that we've discussed
Yes.
about before.
Invest in a really, really nice hand soap with like, I don't know, maybe lavender or something in it that's calming. So when you're washing your hands, you
Yeah.
can breathe in that soap as well. Um,
Yeah.
movement as well
Yes.
as a physical one.
Yep.
I know that's difficult, but maybe when you're in the kitchen preparing this really incredible meal that's supposed to please people that you don't really care for, which I've heard that in some cases, you could put music
Yes.
on, put like
Yes,
some really
exactly.
great music on and
Yep.
dance.
And
Dance
dance
with
while you're
her.
preparing things. That was my go-to. That's always been my go-to
Exactly,
for years.
dance. Or
Yep.
even get a
Dance.
really close friend that makes you laugh to go shopping with you and just do stupid crap while you're in the shopping center. Um,
Yes, true.
yeah, exactly. But most people shop online these days, don't they? So
Yeah,
maybe
they
put a
do.
really fun Christmas music in the
Yep.
background, or maybe no Christmas anything. Maybe you're
No,
sick of Christmas. Put something
yes.
on. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I will never get sick of Christmas. I'm gonna have the Christmas music playing and Home Alone in the background, all the things.
Yeah. I'm
That's
already singing Christmas carols, so I joined an a cappella group.
Oh, you did too.
Yeah, so and we had rehearsals last night, so we've had three rehearsals, and it's just so lovely singing Christmas carols again. It's just
Oh, maybe we can get you to sing Christmas Carol at the end of this.
oh no, maybe not.
The anxiety. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so making sure we're doing that. Hydration is a big one. I find we're
Big
go, go,
one.
go. It's summertime. When you talk more, which
Yes.
this is from a pro here. I talk a lot, as
Yeah.
you probably noticed. But when you're
True.
talking, you're dehydrating yourself. So
Yeah.
constantly needing to hydrate when you're out socializing more. If you're drinking more alcohol than you normally do,
Yeah.
hydration. If your brain is dehydrated, that's just going to make you feel. So maybe buy yourself. So when you're out Christmas shopping, buy yourself some really nice hand soap, but also buy yourself a really nice water bottle.
Oops. Exactly. Nice
Yeah,
water bottle.
and
And a
fill it
little
up with
tip,
yeah.
they can either put in to make it because I have so many patients that go, I hate water. I don't like the taste
Mm,
of it. So, which I find bizarre because I love water.
me too.
But, throwing some sliced up fruit in it,
Yeah.
or
I
even,
could tea.
especially at this time of year, putting in some magnesium powder into your
Mm.
water
So
so
it's
that you're
actually
sipping on that magnesium to help keep you calm
yeah, you can get
through the
some nice
day.
flavors too. Yeah. So
Yes, you
keep that
can.
in.
Yeah,
So the physical
exactly.
stuff is really important, shaking, moving, hydrating, breathing. Another area of the compass we can look at is the chemical one. So
Chemical.
starting your morning with actual real food before you start
Yes.
eating all of the wonderful candy canes and crap that I shouldn't say crap, but all the wonderful Christmas things. Because I
Mm.
like to bake Christmas things, it's
Yeah.
fun. But sometimes
Yeah.
we eat the whole tray and we're like, oh crap, probably shouldn't have done that. I try and give people gifts, but yeah, half of them end up in my house. Thank God I've
Yeah.
got children to eat them all, so I don't eat them all myself. But I know, right? Protein is important.
Protein first.
Some quality fats, getting them in.
Yep.
I find if you start well, it's usually the case. If you get up, you go move your body, hydrate yourself, make yourself a nutritious breakfast. You're setting the tone for the day,
You
right?
really are.
And being aware of sugar. So
Mm.
maybe try and have, like, if you're making some Christmas fudge or some Rocky Road, slithering off a piece for yourself and knowing that this is the piece that I'm going to have for today. And,
Yeah.
shall I have a bite now? Shall I have a bite later? Rather than mindlessly putting the whole thing in your mouth and wanting more and more and more because you're just going to feel
Yeah.
like crap later. So,
Yeah.
not denying yourself anything,
No.
just cutting off the amount that you actually need and enjoying it over time, blissfully is good.
Yeah.
Uh, Emotional, Nat, what can you say for the emotional side of the compass? We're talking like boundaries and a good exit plan. What kind of things do you think we could do?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I mentioned earlier, like creating that boundary, that safety for yourself. So for me, it's escaping with a book. I had people who thought I was rude at first, but honestly, especially if you've got anxiety, there's no shame in actually saying to your loved ones, look, I'm feeling really anxious. I'm just going to step outside. I'm going to go for a walk in the garden. I'm going to go for a walk around the block. I'm going to
Mm,
go and lie down on my bed for half an hour. I'm going to go and listen to some music. And if you are in a social situation, don't be afraid. You don't have to make a big announcement of, oh, I'm anxious, I need to go.
mm.
Like that's the last thing you want to do when you're feeling anxious and especially if you're feeling a bit panicky, if you're in a big social gathering, that's the last thing you want to do is draw attention to yourself.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you can just go up and I did it so many times. I would just go and
Mm,
find the host and say, look, I need to go. Thank you so much for this evening. And then leave without guilt. You have no control over what other people are going to say or think
mm.
about what you do.
Yeah.
Um, and so don't worry about it. Like
Well,
we
the
don't
fact
have
that
any
you
control of it.
opened up.
Looking after yourself, you
Mm,
and I know from experience, I would feel guilty or shame. There was so much shame in the early days of my anxiety disorder that having to do this sort of thing.
mm,
But I learnt that feeling those emotions wasn't going to help me. It just compounded the anxiety. So
mm.
yeah, just making sure that you know where the exits are. If you're going with your family or a partner or a friend, letting them know, okay, if I say this word or make this signal, like, we need to go.
Yeah.
Or if they want to stay on and
Yeah.
something you could discuss in ahead of time,
Yeah.
especially if you're with a partner and you're with the partner's family or friends, they may
Mm,
really want to, but letting them know it's actually okay if you want to stay, so you're not guilting them or feeling like they feel obliged. And it can
yeah.
get so messy at this time of year. And just saying, listen, if I need to go, I'll get a taxi home or an Uber, or if you're not drinking, I'll drive home. So just having those sorts of plans in
And pre-planned.
place.
I also was going to
And
suggest
yeah,
tone setting as well.
yes,
So, like, if
I
you're the
was
one
just yes,
hosting, set the tone. Just say, "Hey
yes,
guys, I don't want a late one. I'm going to start it at 2.
yes,
Um, you know, I don't want to. I'm not cooking everything, so if you can all bring a plate, and just
yeah.
be
That's a
very,
big one.
yeah, just set the tone. Don't, like, I know so many, and I used to do this, is that you had this, I got to show everyone how amazing I am. I'm going to make the house amazing and I'm going to put every Christmas
Oh,
decoration up. And then I'm going to cook all this.
yes,
This is the meal plan. I'm going to pre-prep it 3 days before everyone gets. I'm going to make this and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to have these
oh,
perfect napkins. And all of a sudden you have this huge idea because you get excited, right? But then
yes,
time comes and you've sent out all these invites and all of a sudden you don't want to do any of it. So I think setting the tone and allowing yourself to relax, because it's not about a big show thing. A lot of the time people walk
no,
in and they go, "Oh, that's nice," but they're there to see you and they're there to connect with you. And if your
exactly.
family come, you're not there to please them and show them how
No,
amazing you are now. I think
no,
they would
they're
probably
not. I always say to
appreciate you
people,
saying
they're
that.
not there to do a house inspection. They're not going to be have the white glove on, running their hands along shelving and stuff. They're there to see you.
Yes, exactly. So setting that tone with yourself and with the people around you, I think can alleviate that anxiety. Like, hey guys, I really don't want to have a headache and be doing everything on Christmas Day. So I'm going to take it easy. who likes to make the salad, who likes to bring their dessert. Like I think it needs to go back to how it was back when I was younger. Like
Yeah.
I've been to Lebanese Christmas gatherings, and
Yeah,
they all
beautiful.
have their special thing that they make, and it's just so
Yeah.
beautiful. And there were no ridiculous decorations up. It was all just being
No.
in the moment and really having that fun. Because I think if
Another,
you I was just gonna say,
no, go.
if I think if you have such big ideas for Christmas, you often leave the day feeling really disappointed because people didn't play the games you had and people didn't dress the way you wanted them to, and
Yeah, you got these high expectations that
yeah,
then, yeah,
deflated,
exactly.
defeated,
Yeah.
deflated. Yeah.
Yes. Another thing as well, and it's becoming more common to do, is if sometimes it's okay to go out for Christmas lunch so that
Yeah,
no
that's
one has
becoming
to cook.
popular.
It
Yeah.
really is.
And then you
And
can leave when
or
you want.
exactly. And
Not
somebody
take
else does
people
the
with
washing
you.
up.
Yes.
Which can really alleviate a lot of pressure on you. And
Yeah.
also with not just Christmas Day, but one thing I found, like when I go home to Canberra, everyone wants to catch up, and I used to run myself ragged, to the point of complete burnout by the end of the few days that I was there, trying to catch up with everyone. And then when I started to learn boundaries, and I was just like, no, hang on, I'm going to set myself up at X cafe. So whether it's for brunch or dinner or lunch, whatever. And then I would just put an invite out to all of my friends, not just a certain
Mm.
group, because, we all have groups of friends, and we would try and even just have that group that we would catch up with. Whereas I just put it out there, and it's just like,
Mm.
I'm going to be here. Feel free to come and join me for whatever the meal is, or just pop in for a coffee or a drink.
Yep.
And I would just sit there and people would come. And
Mm.
so it was just one afternoon or one
Yep.
morning out of my day.
Fresh.
And I wasn't running around ragged, didn't have to supply anything. So that's another thing to think about, that,
Yeah. But
there
even
are
time
ways to
setting.
get around it.
Exactly. And even having that sort of with the idea of doing Christmas presents, like you could all sort of say, let's just do a no Christmas buying. We'll just buy each other a cup of coffee. We'll put the money towards catching up.
Exactly.
Like, I think the whole present thing's gotten out of control as
It
well.
really is. Or like
Yeah.
I know, big families who they do one present. So it's almost like a Kris Kringle type thing.
Yeah, we
They
do
said,
that. We do the
yeah. So
presents
they
year
said,
before.
and it's not. It's usually, $20 or fifty
Mm.
dollars. So it's not a lot of money, and it's just one present.
Yes. And the
Mm.
anxiety with the present buying, like I'm going to buy for my hairdresser, I'm going to buy for the school teachers, I'm going to buy for this.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like ridiculous. That's good. Bake a bunch of cookies and just hand them out. That'll do it.
exactly.
You'll be
That's what
fine.
I used to do. I used to love making shortbread.
Oh, I love that too. I'm going to make
Yeah,
shortbread this year. One
yeah.
more on
So
the
I would make up little
emotional.
packs and give them out, and
One
people
more.
love that.
I love that. Please give
Rather
me
than
some.
getting
You make.
yet
I expect.
another, whatever.
I expect shortbread when I see you next. So
Okay.
one more on the
No pressure, no
boundary.
pressure.
I know, right? We've got social media now, and I often find, and I've done this in the past, I try not to do it now, is you sit on Christmas night or even the day before Christmas and you scroll and you look at what everyone's up to, what everyone's doing, how they
Yeah,
spent their Christmas, and it can bring a lot of this sadness. And I think
yeah,
we need to put a boundary up about rather than sitting and scrolling on your phone and trying to
yeah.
compare, maybe putting a lovely Christmas movie on or something at night rather than being on your
Yes.
phone and having that boundary there as well. The last
Even
one,
if you're alone, because I mean, a lot of
yeah,
people are spending more, there are more and more people spending their Christmases alone because they don't
yeah,
have family. So,
yeah, and
yeah,
seeing
don't do the
people,
doom
yeah,
scroll because, remember, you're seeing somebody else's highlight reel.
absolutely. I try and
You're not
be
seeing their real life.
honest as possible on Christmas Day, but sometimes I just
Yeah.
put a family photo up and say Merry Christmas. The
Yeah.
less I'm on social media on Christmas Day and the more present I am with my
Yes.
presence with my present, um,
Presents with your presents.
is better. The last one that we can navigate using the compass is the spiritual side. So having those morning moments, Meaning making, like being really, like we were saying, being really present where we can. And I find sometimes I've missed Christmas in the past because I haven't really gotten down into my body and actually been present. I've just
Oh
been
yeah.
not grounded. And so
No.
having those grounding rituals in where we can, whether again, we can use the breath to get into more of a spiritual side, or keeping, those practices in place. I don't know if you want to quickly mention something on the spiritual side as well.
Yeah, also just connection. Remember that
Meaning of
the
Christmas.
holidays are about
Meaning.
connection. You think about your own memories, thinking about happy memories from past Christmases or holiday seasons. You don't remember the
Presence.
fruit salad or the pavlova here in Australia, or
I
the
remember the
roast
pudding.
turkey. I mean, yeah, you might, yeah, you, but they're not the highlight of your um, memories.
No.
It's the sitting quietly talking to your grandmother,
Mm.
getting down on the ground with your kids, playing with their toys. So, definitely with meaning making, remembering that this is a meaningful time of year and focusing more on just connecting from the heart
Mm.
rather than, how perfect the food is or how many presents are being given out.
Yeah, that's perfect. It is so true. Meaning making, being meaningful. I used to force that on my family. We need to make this Christmas meaningful. I'm going to
Oh,
create a Christmas Eve box and we're going to sprinkle reindeer food on the grass together. We're going to make meaningful moments. And so I would spend all
yeah,
this time trying to force these meaningful moments. But now the meaningful moments come naturally. Like my kids
yes,
laughing. I'm like, hey, let's pull out a board game. Like, let's just do this. Let's go for a walk and look at the
yeah,
Christmas lights. Like, and then laughing and cracking jokes. And it comes
yeah.
naturally. I think we can't force these kinds of things.
No,
Yeah.
one thing I
So,
learned, especially when I was at my worst, and it was one of the most beautiful things that I learnt to do,
mm,
and I still do it now. Everyone gets the family gets around. You're opening all your presents, and everyone's just diving in and opening their presents. And I found I would literally just sit back and just watch everybody else, regardless of who they were getting the present off, and just watching the joy on every single
reactions.
members and their
Oh,
reactions. And it became like, I'm going to cry. It actually came a really meaningful, a
oh,
little ritual. I don't know why I'm crying. But
because
it
you've
became a really
emotional.
special, yeah, it became something really, really meaningful for me to just quietly sit back and just
Watch.
watch the joy on every single member of my family's face.
Oh, I love that. Rather than trying to get a video to put on Instagram to show everyone
Yeah.
what you're opening up.
Yep. No, exactly. I don't pick up my phone anymore. I
Yeah.
just sit there and be fully present and just,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
I love
revel in
that. Oh,
everybody
you gave
else's
me
joy.
tingles then. I love it. So this episode is going a lot longer than our normal ones, but it's a
Oh, I
Christmas
know.
one, so
It
let's
is.
that's
It's a
fun.
important one.
Exactly. So we're going to do a festive reframe that Christmas is not a performance. Stop following social media trends. I mean, you can if you want, if that's genuinely what you want to do, but there's no pressure to be perfect at Christmas. It's a sensory experience. And if you're an anxious person, um, leaning into those sensory feelings, because
Yeah,
we just had Nat crying on the podcast. We feel things. We really feel things.
we
Why don't we
do.
allow ourselves to feel the twinkle in the Christmas lights and really be in awe of the magic of Christmas? Because I think we're forgetting that.
We
Genuinely looking at
do.
the decorations on the tree, enjoying the flavors and the tastes in that rocky road that you made,
Yeah,
sitting and snuggling if you've got kids on the couch and watching a
yeah,
movie. Like these moments, we really feel them, don't we, Nat?
we really do.
Yeah, we're very lucky. And to
Yes.
remember that your body isn't sabotaging you, it's guiding you. It is always guiding you.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling really overwhelmed and anxious, giving yourself that breather and break with the things that we mentioned before,
Yes.
physical, chemical, emotional, spiritual
Yeah.
breaks,
Give yourself permission.
permission to enjoy and to just
Yeah. Or
relax.
to even just feel and,
Yeah.
and if you need to step away, just giving yourself that permission to do
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
you need to do.
Yeah, go and scream in a pillow if that makes you feel good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Why
Punch
not?
the pillow.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not advocate violence.
I know, no, me neither. Pillow will be fine. So let's leave it with a reflective question for our wonderful listeners. Where does your body feel most activated? I'm going to use activated at Christmas time, and what is it trying to guide you towards?
Mm.
Is it knowing that you're going to see someone? Is it knowing that you can't help yourself but be ravenous when food comes out at all these events? Is it the fact that you're taking on too much because you're a bit of a people pleaser? Uh-oh. It could be
Oops.
many, many things. Is it the fact that you have every year spent so much on your kids and now you've set this expectation that they're going to expect a really good Christmas and you just can't afford it this year? So there's
Yeah.
that. There's just so many. Is it the fact that you have a damn elf that you invested in and you don't really want to go and do all the things that everyone else is doing? It's playing on your mind. It could really be that, Nat. It could really be that.
It
Um,
could be.
so what's activating you most for Christmas and what can you do to alleviate those sensations and feelings that are overwhelming in your body? Did you
Yeah,
want
I
to
think
add?
it's a really important activity to do.
Yes.
I can't stress that enough because just simply identifying and acknowledging
Mm.
how you're feeling, what your thoughts are, can often just alleviate and release that pressure of that anxiety or stress.
Yes, beautiful. I think we might leave it there, Nat. What do you think?
I think so.
Amazing.
Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, as
Yes.
everyone's listening to this at Christmas time. So we just wanted to send out that love.
Thanks for joining us on the Anxiety Compass. If you love this episode, share it with a friend who needs a little laugh and a lot of calm. We'll see you in the next one. Keep following your true north. Disclaimer time. Sammy and Natalie may be clinical nutritionists, but we're not your personal doctors. What you hear is for learning and laughing, not diagnosing or prescribing. If things feel bigger than you, call your doctor or local support line or reach out to a qualified health professional. They've got your back too.